Okay, here's a question I get asked a lot. Tim, what is it like to work at Sweetwater? Well, and I have to think, and you be the judge, but I've got to think that there's more to the question than meets the eye or the ear. Here's why. Almost everybody who asks about life at Sweetwater, they know I've been a musician most of my life. They know a lot of my career has focused on that whole thing. So it's very natural for people to assume that I love being around instruments and amps and effects and recording gear and all of that. And of course, it's not too big of a spoiler to say, yeah, I love being around all of that. The instruments, the amps, the effects, the recording equipment, the things that have given voice to my soul. I love getting hands-on with almost everything that's new and significant in the market. A lot of times before it even comes out. Sometimes I even get to have an impact on the design ideas before it's in production about how things can be more helpful. To me, that is cool. Now, you have to understand, I love being around musicians, and Sweetwater is full of musicians and artists. You walk 5 feet, and there's someone who can play better, sing better, write better songs. 5 more feet, and there's somebody who can outdo that person. You're talking Dove Award winners, Grammy Award winners, touring artists, producers. So whether you're talking about the customers, the Sweetwater staff, or the manufacturers, it's like their paths all seem to lead to Sweetwater. And we have this commonality, this connection, this shared value. You probably have it too. It's like the language of the soul that we speak and we all understand. And plus, and this is huge, I get to be with the people who create all that, the music makers, the company owners, the musicians, the people who make the music I listen to every day. And for my job, this is how I get to make my living. So it makes sense that working at Sweetwater is very satisfying. Sometimes people ask, well, Tim, why do you write for another company, not yourself? Even one you like so much. Why do you do it? And it's because for years I was a freelancer, and that's given me a chance to work with some great people. It's given me a chance to write my own book. I've ghostwritten books for other people, but it's really special to pour out what you think is really important and write your own. And I am not done with that. So here's the thing. Way beyond all of this stuff, there's something that goes a lot deeper that really matters to me. It's when I see people have that aha moment. You know what I'm talking about? Their eyes light up and you can tell that suddenly, boom, they found that missing piece, that missing inspiration. And for me, as a person of faith who has spent a huge part of my life as a worship pastor and tech director and band trainer and musician, when I've been able to help someone grow, when they can do what they want to do better, they've got that eureka moment, that epiphany, that for me is really awesome. Now, I've had opportunity to do that in my life with individuals and bands and churches and teaching. I've taught classes and workshops and things like that. I've impacted individuals and tens and hundreds and even thousands. But now I literally get to write for millions of people about what's artistically most important to them. So if you ask me, what is it like to work in Sweetwater, that question just seems so obvious. Unless maybe there's another question, something that's a little bit more tricky, more difficult to ask. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe your question is face value. Maybe you're curious about what it is like to write, or what it's like to work at a company that's at the very forefront of the music instrument industry in the United States and around the world. Maybe you're curious about what it's like to work here, the perks, the made-from-scratch diner, medical center that's free, the styling salon, the gym, and the personal trainer, which I obviously don't use enough, or the incredibly dangerous employee discount. Or you could be asking, as a customer, can I trust Sweetwater? Are they only about the touring pros and multi-million-dollar producers? What about the person at home? They just play for their cat. Or you could be asking, how do I get the best deals? Well, I'll tell you, there are ways. Or maybe you want to know about the gear itself, the difference between this headphone, that headphone, these guitar strings, the instruments, what features are just hype versus what really will help you reach your dreams. Or maybe, since I have access to literally just about everything out there, what do I choose when I play, when I gig? Or maybe you're curious about the people, the manufacturers, the musicians, the producers, the people that I get to talk to every day. Those inside stories with the people who have created the soundtrack of my life and maybe yours too. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. I wanted a pair of headphones for my studio. They're primarily for mixing my recordings, doing my projects, creating patches for my multi-effects processor. Which multi-effects processor? Yeah, good question. Well, Sweetwater carries a lot of headphones. We have over like 50 types just on the demo wall in the store, and that's just a place to start. So I did that. I started there. I gave them a listen, all within the price range that I had in mind. I just wanted to see what else we had available. I wanted to know what's coming down the pike. So I went up to what we call Vendor Village. That's where representatives from different brands confidentially display the latest, greatest products for Sweetwater team, and we check them out and we train on them. And with over 1,000 brands, there's always something cool to discover. And sure enough, there were headphones there, so I'm listening to them. And in the door walks Michael Brower. He's this multi-Grammy winning mixing engineer. He's mixed for artists including Coldplay and Rolling Stones, James Brown, Aerosmith, Billy Joel, Willie Nelson, a ton of others. You get the idea. So I asked him what he uses. And he uses a type of headphones called planar headphones. So we carry several brands of planars, and there were some on the display. So he asked and said, hey, let me hear something that I've mixed. So the headphone technician started playing some John Mayer, and we gave the planars a listen. They sounded great. Was just what I was looking for. So I got a pair, and that's what I've used since. So I got to meet a mixing legend and get a good pair of headphones all the same day. Another example, Trans-Siberian Orchestra was on tour, it's a phenomenal show. It's a Christmas show. They're phenomenal musicians, and I was walking from dining area to my cubicle, and sure enough, there they were. You never know who is going to be walking through the door. So you say, what is it like working at Sweetwater? Let's go a little deeper. I want to ask a real question. Be specific. Use the comment section below, and we'll keep this conversation going. This isn't a Sweetwater sponsored channel. I'm not a sales engineer. I'm not one of Sweetwater's big influencers. I'm just a musician and writer who works there and gets to be hands-on with all that incredible gear and meet all those wonderful people. And I did go ahead and make sure to get permission about doing a channel. But it's my own thing. It's my own equipment on my own time. I'm doing it just for the love of it. So after years of working at Sweetwater, I'm starting this channel, and you're probably one of the very first people actually seeing the page. Besides maybe my mom. So that means you have the chance to really impact it. So like, share, and subscribe, and do all that to help me. But ask me a real question. Tell me how I can do this better. I will give you an honest answer. I look forward to it. Sound good? It's a deal. Okay. Hey, it's a Sweetwater life.